What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders for Monday, February 1st. Now, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section, who are your favorite plays for tonight's slate? We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10. Michael Porter Jr., Giannis Antetokounmpo, Andre Drummond, Christian Wood, and Jeremy Grant on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites for February 1st? It's time to find out. All right, first up, I'm looking at number 5, Kristaps Porzingis. He's power forward eligible, 7K, projected for just over 37 fantasy points. The goal is 46. He's in the optimal lineup 20% of the time. Playing 32 minutes. He's a 1.2 fantasy point per minute guy, and I'm actually projecting him slightly lower than that. Baseline projection, 20 points, 8 boards, not much else, but you're hoping for blocks. That's really what's going to give you the outlier performance for Porzingis. Taking on a Phoenix team, it's basically a neutral pace matchup. I just think that Porzingis is slowly going to play himself into form, and his price is lower than what we're expecting once he gets there. I would prefer to buy in early than buy in late. So I'm going to take my shot at Kristaps Porzingis at 7K because I think that price ends up higher 10 days from now. Next up at number 4, we've got another fixture of the contenders. That's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, shooting guard eligibility, 8,300, projected for 43. The goal is 51. He's in the optimal lineup 20% of the time. We're talking 34 minutes, 27% usage, 23 points, 5.5 boards, 7 assists, 1.7 stocks, pace up spot against Houston, team with no defensive identity. It's certainly not John Wall. It's certainly not Boogie Cousins or Christian Wood. Used to be a 1.04 fantasy point per minute guy. Now he's a 1.26 baseline projection. I love Shai every game because he dominates every part of the Oklahoma City offense, particularly with George Hill out. Not that George Hill soaks up a ton, but it's just more to go around for Shai. He can soak up whatever he needs. That's why you see 27% usage on the screen. He does a little bit of everything for this Thunder team, and I love the matchup. Now, at number 3, we're paying up $10,700 for point guard Luka Doncic, 54 fantasy point projection. You're looking for about 60. He's in the optimal lineup 21% of the time. I don't really need to say too much about how you get to Luka. 36 minutes, 35% usage, 28, 9.5, and 9 is the baseline. I mean, we're talking about close to a triple-double every single night. Neutral pace spot against Phoenix. It's a sort of difficult spot. Bridges really good defensively. I assume that Luka sees quite a bit of Bridges throughout this game, but I can't go a different direction. I think it's really easy to pay up for him at the point guard spot. And 1.5 fantasy points per minute for the 10-7 Luka Doncic. It creates a really nice value. He hits that 60-point goal 29% of the time. That's a lot. He's hitting his goal more frequently than he's in the optimal. I don't think he kills you tonight. I love paying 10-7 for him. Luka, my preferred pay-up option for the slate. Now, you're going to need a little bit of value today. I'm assuming Gary Harris doesn't play after leaving early in his last game. Number 2 is Will Barton. He's a 4K small forward, and he should see a minutes jump. So I've got him projected for 27 fantasy points. He's in my optimal lineup 24% of the time. I have him playing 33 minutes now. That extra 4 or 5 minute boost is enough to make him the best value play on the slate. It's not a great usage guy, 18%, 13, 5, and 3. Pedestrian numbers. He's a 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy in my baseline model. He's a 0.8 for today just because moving into the starting lineup doesn't really help his rates. It's more of a playing time thing. Now, with all of that said, because he's 4K and he's going to play 33 minutes, he's a fantastic option, especially at a small forward position that is generally difficult to fill. Will Barton makes everything else work for you across the line on FanDuel. That's why he's number 2, but not quite number 1. Now, before we get to number 1, one last reminder, like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for getting us to 50,000 subs, by the way, but that doesn't mean you should stop subscribing. And follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You don't want to miss these updates. I am on Live Before Lock tonight, 6:30 until 8 o'clock with Chris Spag, so tune in. I'll drop my updates just before we go live. And finally, the number 1 contender on the slate, 10K point guard Damian Lillard, projected for 51. The goal is 57. He's in the optimal lineup 24% of the time. We're talking 38 minutes, monstrous usage, no CJ, no Nurkic, no Derek Jones Jr., 30 points, 10 assists, 5 boards. You guys, he's everything. He's every single bit of this Portland Trailblazers offense. It's actually a slight pace up spot against Milwaukee. Now, the Bucks are going to be throwing everything at Dame. He's the key to it all, but I think he sort of transcends defensive matchup. He's normally a 1.25 fantasy point per minute guy, but with CJ and Nurkic and Derek Jones Jr. out, that number goes up. He's a 1.35 fantasy point per minute guy, and in my opinion, has a ton of upside if he gets cooking. I don't want to miss out on a Dame ceiling game. Damian Lillard, the #1 contender on FanDuel today. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders for FanDuel on Monday, February 1st. One last reminder, like button, follow me on Twitter. You guys know the drill there. Again, no strategy show for me, but I'll be on live before lock, and then I'm on the strategy show for the rest of the week. Contenders aren't going anywhere, though. I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Good luck tonight.